right. Business owner dad version. We're live. We're live. Hello, this is Time for Success Business Owner Dad's Edition. This is the show where we dive in. What does success mean to you? You know, what does success mean to your family? What does success mean to you in business? And how do you make all those things work together? And my name is Matt Barbie. I'm your host, the owner of Time for Success, and I help business owners create businesses that give them and their families the lives that they dream of. And it's really the passion behind this show. And this week we've got Don Arling, the founder of Blue Water Real Estate Group. Hi, Don.
How you doing, Matt Barbie?
Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, well, can you tell the audience a little bit more about you and what you do and what makes Blue Water special in the real estate world?
Well, a little bit about me and my background goes back 30 years in real estate.
Okay, so you're starting to get the hang of it now.
Starting
That's
to
good.
hang of it a
Starting
little bit. Yeah, I'm just starting to, I guess, find the traction in real estate after 30 years.
Right, yeah.
Absolutely. I have 3 beautiful daughters, and I actually started real estate prior to them being born. So my oldest is 24, and I have a 22-year-old and a 15-year-old. So I still have a little running around to do with the 15-year-old.
Oh, yeah.
It's still awesome. I love that.
Yeah, she's going to be learning to drive soon. So
She is. She's behind the wheel right now.
Oh,
a little scary, but it's all good.
Yeah.
It's all good. I tell her, this is what I tell her, I said, you have to get control of the car. Right now it's got control of you still.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, that's deep. Because a lot of people need to get control of their business.
True.
Because their business has control of them.
Yes.
Yeah, man, that's a good segue. Good segue there.
Hey, thank you.
So what makes Blue Water special?
Blue Water Realty was derived just from my years of wanting to be at the beach and making it now like kind of a blue water journey.
Yeah.
And my daughters and I have always been beach girls and their mother, and so I guess in my business planning, I looked at it and said, hey, that's my ultimate destination. I am going to get my license in Florida this year as well, so I'll be working probably in 2020 a little bit in Florida and ramping up my business there as well as in St. Louis.
That's great.
And this year I'll also be ramping up Blue Water Realty Group in the Lake of the Ozarks, doing some business down there with investors as well as people looking for second homes. So my goals are pretty large, as you can see.
Yeah.
Over the years, I've been able to grow teams, and that's my plan again with Blue Water Realty.
That's great. That's a particular strength of yours, right?
It is a strength, yes.
Great. And it sounds like it'll be a fun market to be in terms of second homes.
Both the lake and Florida.
In Florida.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, it'll give you a lot of good business expenses for going out and having fun.
Yeah, exactly. Can write everything off, right?
Right. That's great. So you've got the 3 daughters, and you've been in real estate for 30 years. So I'm sure there's been ups and downs that they've been through. Tell me more. What has that been like over the course of the 30 years? You know, with especially like 2008. I mean,
I think the biggest ups and downs, not necessarily business for them, because I've always been able to work my schedule around their events. I coached for my 2 oldest daughters probably for 8 consecutive years when they were younger. My 3rd daughter now is in track and cross country and band, so I schedule my time around their time, and then I work around that. So I think my biggest struggles have been probably more personal, and that put some stress on them through a couple divorces. So very personal stuff there, but those have probably been the biggest struggles for them and me with work and just juggling all that at the same time, being a single dad at times.
Right. And then you had a pretty severe car accident a little while back too.
I did. It's been about 15 months now.
Yeah.
So that took some toll on me in 2018. With the divorce at the end of 2017, my dad's passing as well. At that time, so 2018 was a little rough. personally. My daughters were by my side. They're like my best friends now as they age, which is a great factor in life.
Yeah.
But 2018 is over, and 2018 is amazing. So
That's great. That's great. So, would you say that your relationship with your daughters has been a big motivating factor for you throughout the years?
Absolutely. They not only have they been motivating as far as me wanting to do right for them, but also to show them, mentor them, be their coach, and also now at 22 and 24, my oldest, you become a friend.
Yeah.
Becomes a little a different. You have a different relationship. My 15-year-old, you're still training, coaching, teaching, and you're never going to stop training, coaching, teaching your kids. I hope.
Yeah.
Just like you're never, or you don't want to stop learning yourself.
Right.
You want the same for your kids. So you see them, and I see my daughters just kind of following my footsteps and their mother's footsteps as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So, throughout the years, what are some of the big things that you've learned in terms of, do you even call it balance? I mean, I've had quite a few people on here that say the whole balance thing is a lie. Laura was just saying that.
There really is no balance except for, I think the balance comes, just spend time with your kids.
Yeah.
Be there with them, be there at their events. I've always, and I have a lot of people, when I tell them I have 3 daughters, they're like, oh my gosh. It's like shocking. What do you do with 3 daughters? I'm like, it's been great. Yeah. I've had really good kids. I've always had 2 rules. I mean, can I say my 2 rules to my daughter?
I mean, as long as it doesn't involve cursing or
no, it doesn't. I've always said, and I'm starting this with when Kiley, my youngest, is 14 now, and I started the rules with her last year, or she's 15 now. I started the rules with her when she was 14. And probably with the other girls as well. It's basically respect yourself and also make good choices. It's really simple.
Yeah.
And if they screw up, it's on them.
Mm-hmm.
I really have never been a hard disciplinarian with them. They make mistakes, they figure it out, and they have to deal with mistakes with who they made the mistakes with. So it's always worked for me. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if there's any real secret to it. It's always been love, be there for them.
Yeah.
Just spend time with them.
Time. Yeah, I've heard that the way that kids spell love is Time.
That's probably true. Yes.
So you'd say that you
I just put the 2 words together in a sentence. So
right.
And love, yeah.
Time and love. So
yeah, correct.
That's probably pretty core to your beliefs then as well.
And I would say yours as well.
So yeah, definitely. So how? Obviously the real estate world, especially in 2008, can have its ups and downs. So how do you make sure that you prioritize the time? You said you did some coaching with them. Did you? What other ways did you find to make sure that you were just spending time with them?
I guess church, family.
Good.
God is, top of our list. So
yeah,
they've all been brought up with God, and I think that's probably the number 1 priority in our life. So spending that quality time with them on holidays, and now we have Sunday night dinners, and we just spend quality time, not just coaching, not just being there for their events, but quality time.
So it doesn't necessarily always have to be around some sort of big event or big to-do. Just being able to spend time together and just kind of chatting, hanging out.
We set coffee shops now, and we work together.
Yeah.
Because we're both entrepreneurs as well. So
so you instilled the entrepreneurial spirit. All right.
And Kiley, my youngest, she'll go, hey, Dad, you want to go run expired listings today? So I'll be like, I'm not prepared today, but let's do it. We'll go knock on doors.
Nice.
So she likes to do that stuff with me.
Oh, great.
So she's coming up in the same spirit.
Good. Now, are your other 2 daughters, are they also in the real estate realm, or do they?
Kennedy, my oldest, and her fiance, Michael.
Yeah.
They're both in real estate.
Yeah.
They work in new construction.
Oh, okay.
So they do not work with me yet. In due time, they probably will.
Yeah.
That is my hope.
Yeah.
And Kelsey, she does have a full-time job in graphic design, but she also has her own small business called K Paige Graphics. So she does brand and graphic design for small companies, small entrepreneurs.
Great. So, what do you think has been a key factor in being able to instill that entrepreneurial spirit with them? Is there certain things that you did together? Or
I think just, when you learn something, you kind of instill it in them.
Yeah.
Whether it's motivational factors, whether it's growth factors, whether it's, I don't know, just your everyday, how you behave, how you are persistent, and how you don't give up, and how, I was just talking to my oldest daughter. She goes, "Dad, you've always been," and she knew my struggles through 2018. Obviously, I share with them. I talk to them about stuff. They were there for me through the car accident, and they go, "Dad, you have always been persistent. You've always figured it out." So 2019's, I can see everything going up for you.
Yeah.
So they just see it.
Good.
Yeah.
That's good. And so what are some ways that you have tried to incorporate them in your business, like early on though, like because you've been in business for 30 years. When they were younger, did they go to open houses with you? Did they?
I think they did more of the task of stuffing envelopes and mailings, things like that.
Okay.
The tasks that take time, but you can pay them
right
for those type of tasks.
So you can still find some ways to get them involved, stuffing envelopes, doing some of the direct mail pieces. Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome.
I can't say they spent a whole lot of time at open houses with me.
They didn't necessarily do that sort of thing.
No.
Okay.
But Kiley does more of the running around with me now because she's the straggler, if you want to call it, behind the other two. The other two are out, and so she likes to run around with me. We spend a lot of time at Starbucks.
Yeah.
Her doing homework and me working, so she sees. You instill that in them as your model, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
Them.
What has it been a challenging time whenever you've seen them going through some things that they're challenged? Because they see you, they model you. How have you supported them in throughout the years whenever they've kind of gone through some challenging times? Because you said like you're not a necessarily big disciplinarian, but still
good listener.
Good listening. Okay. How do you be a good listener?
I think when they have issues, they've always been able to come to me or their mom and trust us. Because maybe we're not the big disciplinarian, or they know we're not going to judge them, or they know we're not going to scold them for coming to us for their issues or things that they have going on.
Yeah.
We're just going to listen and try to help them through it.
Okay.
So sort of what a coach would do.
Yeah.
In business. And I don't say I take business to that level with them. It works as well. You kind of coach them through life.
Yeah. So, a lot of people struggle, I think, with being, or they don't necessarily understand how to be a good listener, right? I mean, it's a certain skill set to be developed. What would you say are the qualities of a good listener?
Really? Qualities of a good listener. You just got to be patient. I mean, that's one.
It's huge. Yeah. Because oftentimes we're wanting to jump on and
sure, our brain thinks 10 times faster than the other person speaks, so we're already thinking way ahead. Okay, I can jump in and help, or I can jump in and resolve the situation for them. And I'm a problem solver, so I have that tendency to want to do that. Jump in, boom. But patience and just sometimes you just have to shut up.
Yeah,
they just need to talk. Sometimes they don't even need you to respond. Right.
Well, it seems to be a pretty common quality of dads or even husbands. I mean, it's kind of almost to the point of just kind of being cliche and funny about it, but have that tendency to try to be problem solving. And then with their wives and daughters, right? They typically just kind of want to be able to just kind of get it out and just kind of maybe just talk through it just with somebody there who cares, right?
Right.
So, in terms of being that good listener, would you say that sometimes it just takes biting your tongue sometimes, and letting them kind of work through it a little bit?
Letting them work through it, letting them make mistakes.
Yeah.
I think letting them make mistakes just continues to, like we do in life, we make mistakes, we learn from it, right?
Yeah.
So why not them?
Yeah.
Why not? They're going to make mistakes.
Yeah.
Let them make their mistakes. Don't correct them along the way
Mm-hmm.
from making the mistakes, because then they won't learn.
Okay.
So biting your tongue, letting them make mistakes, listening.
So how is that playing out right now with your daughter who's learning to drive?
Very
stop
good.
sign.
Very good, actually. There have been a couple times I've been like, don't go. But
Yeah.
typically, I can't believe she's caught on that fast, actually.
That's good.
The other day I said, "God, you really caught on fast. It's only been like 3 weeks."
Yeah.
And her mom's taking her and I'm taking her. I have her every other week. And I didn't think she'd catch on as fast as the other two, but she has.
So maybe we can draw kind of an analogy there then, even that oftentimes, you see this in the TV shows, right, when the dads are trying to teach their kids that they're way extra, if you will.
Yeah.
And so it instills a lot of anxiety. And the truth is, like, the human brain doesn't work well whenever it's all, full of anxiety neurotransmitters, right? It kind of shuts down. It's kind of a fight or flight kind of response, as opposed to awareness and creativity and problem solving and all that stuff. It's kind of like it just wants to run away, typically.
Correct.
So by being, would you say then, so by being patient with, we're just going to use this example, with your daughter as she's driving and trying to kind of bite your tongue to a degree, except for maybe whenever it's like, it is do or die, right? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you might not want to do that because we could die, right? There's those moments.
You do have to speak up once in a while.
I mean, once in a while, yeah. I mean,
or make some corrections.
Right.
Teaching moments.
Right,
I guess, if
right.
you want to call them.
So, I mean, there's one way of going about it, which is the oh, hey, come on, what's wrong with you? Why would you do that, right? Versus, hey, is it okay if I kind of give you a little bit of feedback on that?
That's kind of what I did the other day when she turned into her mom's subdivision.
Yeah.
She drove from my house to her house, and when I was dropping her off, and I said, "Kiley, I think one thing you could still work on a little bit is just your turns. I know the car still has you a little bit where you're taking the turns a little fast and a little wide, going into subdivisions, and I just made a correction.
Right.
I said maybe something you could work on a little bit.
Yeah.
Instead of negative input.
Like, you suck at making turns.
But yeah, exactly. Yes, you're terrible at this.
You are horrible at it.
You know how you if you're a passenger and someone's maybe approaching your car too fast,
right.
your reflex to your right foot puts the brake on.
Right.
I've done that a couple times when she's approached the garage.
Oh yeah.
Like, don't go through the garage. I'm thinking go through the garage, and my foot's pushing on the floor.
Right. That's like my wife the entire time I'm driving.
The entire time,
basically, yeah.
Nice.
So maybe not the entire. Well, it depends. Yeah,
she doesn't brake the entire time.
Right. Well, I don't know. I'm just glad I don't have like one of those cars that has like the 2 steering wheels.
Yeah.
Because and then the 2 brake pedals. Because we probably wear out the brake pads because she'd be hitting the brakes.
You'd be taking over.
Right. Yeah. No, but so I'm much more chill. But no. So so obviously she doesn't suck at taking turns. It's just an area of improvement. But sometimes in those moments, whether it's when they're driving or whatever kind of correction it might be, like, we kind of think that we need to squash it quickly, right? Like, we need to, like, if we just say it harshly, like, I think our brain kind of naturally oftentimes is like, if we say it harshly, then it'll make the point stronger. But sometimes it doesn't really necessarily.
I don't think it necessarily does.
Does.
I think
right.
Choosing your words, selectively, I guess is the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
And just maybe not saying it in the moment.
Yeah.
But waiting even maybe a day or 2 and just, hey, remember when?
Right.
Or, what about this?
Yeah.
just not making a harsh correction or a harsh judgment in the moment.
Yeah, you know, and you know, we're all still works in progress. You know, I've got 2 daughters, and I'm always trying to be better about, you know, the communication and everything. You know, I've got a 13-year-old daughter, and you know, sometimes we don't always see eye to eye, but you know, so trying to work on that as well. And so you know, this is great. And you know, one thing is too is we have to watch how we say things, because especially in teenage years for daughters or sons or whatever, because they're trying to find their own identity and all that stuff. I mean,
and they're all different.
But this really translates even to employees and team members in terms of,
sure,
you know, you have to be careful about putting them immediately into a defensive position. And if you jump on it too harshly, if you tell them they suck at something, if you make it negative, as opposed to, hey, is it okay if I try to offer you some guidance, some help, some feedback, or an area of improvement, then they're not going to be receptive to it anyway. They're going to be immediately trying to think of all the reasons that you're wrong, as opposed to trying to integrate that and then think about, okay, so maybe there's some truth to this. How can I maybe improve my performance?
I think if you know their personality styles, if you're familiar with maybe the DISC or another type of personality platform, or if you know their personality styles, you know how to treat them. Because I'm a high D, so it's driven, determined, assertive, not necessarily aggressive or demanding, because there are 2 types of Ds also.
Yeah.
But I had an old partner who was the opposite D of me, and we both treated our assistant differently. I would go to the assistant, like you were just suggesting, and asking, hey, can you get this done by 2 o'clock? I really need this. I really appreciate you. Thank you. And she'd be like, hey, I need this by 2. You know, I need it as soon as possible. Can you get that done? She didn't even ask her to get it done. I just need it. She was demanding.
Right.
And it was just a different feel.
Right.
So I think if you understand the personalities of who you're working with on your team, who you surround yourself by, you can work together. You can work in harmony.
Yeah.
Same with your children,
right? Right. Yeah, you know, some people they love that go type environment. Oh, Rob, we're doing this. It's come on, hoorah, you know. And but then you have the different types of personalities. Like I think we're talking about like a high C or a high S personality.
High SC.
You know, they like it to be a lot more steady. They really care very deeply about like all the nuances of communication and all that stuff. And so you have to be, you know, very mindful of that if you want to be able to motivate them. And I mean, high S's are wonderful members of the team.
Makes the team go, every personality style makes the team go round.
Right. Real quick, so remind the audience. So what are the 4 qualities of the DISC? Right. It's a personality statement that kind of boils it down to, you know, levels of combinations of 4 personality traits. What are they? Real quick? Oh, we've got 3 minutes, but real quick.
Correct. The D is driven, assertive, aggressive. The I is more of a personality, you know, high I personality, people person, social. The
social
C
butterfly.
Is more conservative. They're more detail oriented. They cross their T's, dot their I's, and the S is very steady. They like their paychecks every 2 weeks.
Right.
They're going to be your steadiest employee.
Right. Whereas stable. Like an I likes like kind of a broad network and kind of that social butterfly. And S really does care about people. It's just that they like to get in a little bit deeper. They're a little bit more reserved.
Correct.
They're pretty steady. You know, like they might even still have you know, the iPhone from a few editions back because they don't really like to change. That's
probably
okay.
5 editions back.
Probably 5 editions back.
They
might still have a flip phone, right? If it's a high S, but I mean those are amazing qualities because they really do increase they have incredible quality of relationships.
Yeah, when hiring somebody, if you know their personality styles, you're hiring for that position, and you're hiring for certain personality traits, you have that conversation with them after you hire them, who you are, and how you can work together best.
Right. Yeah. So, absolutely. Yeah. So being able to, so just kind of real quick recap, you know, being able to really understand the personalities of your kids or your team members is huge. Not immediately putting them into like a defensive position like sometimes we do whenever there's a critical situation is huge. And and just being listening and a good coach.
I would agree. Yes,
Awesome.
All those traits are great.
So we've got 1 minute. If people are looking for buying or selling a house, or maybe their second home, what's a good way for them to get a hold of you?
They can contact me personally through text, or they can just call 314-249-8282, or they can always find me on social media.
Awesome.
Heavy on social media.
Don, Don Arling, Arling,
with Blue Water Realty.
Blue Water Real Estate Group is the name of your Facebook page. Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being on the show. And thank you for listening. This has been Time for Success, Business Owner Dad's Edition, and this is Matt Barbie, your host. And if you'd like to build a business that really gives you and your family the life that you guys dream of, guys and gals, that you dream of, my phone number is 314-441-5423. Thanks.
Awesome.
All right. Thank you. Thank you all for listening. Hey, Chuck. Hey, Nick.